Singapore is now the fifth most innovative economy in the world. It jumped 2 spots from last year. This according to the Global Innovation Index 2023, which uses 80 indicators to track innovation trends in 132 economies. Now, the nation now leads the Southeast Asian, East Asian and Oceania region in a time of an increasingly uncertain economic outlook.
And for more analysis, we are joined by Lorena Rivera-Leon, economist and co-editor of the Global Innovation Index at the World Intellectual Property Organization. Lorena, thanks very much for joining us this evening. We're hearing that Singapore has risen 2 positions this year, currently the highest ranked Asian economy. Give us a sense of the reasons behind this development.
Yeah, thank you. So this is some developments we observed this year. Singapore now leads the region. And it replaces in the top rank from the Republic of Korea. There has been several strides or several reasons why this happened. And I think one of the main ones, one interesting metrics is, for example, the investment in research and development really accounts for more than 2% in 2020. And this is the highest we have observed since 2009. Another aspect that is also interesting is the strive of Singapore in relation to venture capital. So the venture capital investments received in 2022 exceeded over $6 billion. And this is, even if this is slightly lower to what we have in this very high peak of venture capital in 2021, it still remains the second highest. It is the top position for best venture capital received in the world. A very large number of deals got signed in 2022. But also, this goes together with a tradition of Singapore leading in key innovation indicators, such as, the government effectiveness, logistics performance, high-tech manufacturing, and some others related more to online connectivity. So we also see a very large community of software developers.
So you're describing there the reasons that allowed us to top other Asian innovators like South Korea, China and Hong Kong. But what are the factors that are going to need to happen to keep us in the lead and to maintain this lead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we observe a reshaping of the innovation landscape in the region. And I think one of the main reasons is this restructuring of global value chains. So the way we see it is that Singapore is really redefining its role and position in the region. There are some competitive advantages we see in Singapore when compared to other economies. There's obviously the strong institutional capacity, the very friendly business environment, skilled workforce. There's also, all the more structural characteristics, such as the, world-class research institutions, this collaboration that exists between private and public sector. Now, as you said, a lot of the discussions that came up today with policymakers in Geneva are around uncertainty. So I think countries that are able to adapt to changes and in an environment of uncertainty in an efficient way and that use innovation for this purpose would really mark which countries continue to thrive in the innovation landscape.
Right, Lorena, you're just bringing up the point there on countries' need to be adaptive. Despite what people, are talking about in Geneva, the need for this, are we actually seeing that in effect, among countries outside the top 10, perhaps?
We see it among a selective group of very small group of middle-income economies. So this is what we see. There's a group of climbers, and these countries such as China, Turkey, India, Indonesia, Iran, the Philippines, they really have systems in place that we don't see them hit as many other countries by the uncertainty and the COVID-19 consequences. So they're certainly not only on the top part of the rankings, but there's also some middle-income economies that, as you can see, share common characteristics. They're emerging markets. They're also highly integrated into value chains. So, we see it in other parts of the world as well. But for sure, it happens more in the top rank economies.
Okay, let's project ahead in the long term. How will the economic uncertainty impact startups, venture capitals, and other traditional sources of innovation financing?
Yeah, this is a very important question. So, in the short term, we really observe a deterioration in the global environment for innovation finance. Even though we saw growth in the number of venture capital deals, for example, in 2022, the value drop or decline significantly, and this is close to 40% in 2022. And of course, the main driving force behind this decline is monetary tightening that is performed by central banks around the world. As interest rates have shot up to levels not seen in decades, the availability of risk capital, it has dried up. As investors can basically earn a decent return without exposing themselves to high risk. So this instability has further undermined the financing environment. Now, looking into the future, I think the outlook will remain uncertain, not least because the future of monetary policy is again uncertain, but also because, basically, there are still a lot of factors that are unknown. So I think in this regard, we take still a relatively optimistic stand because, in historical terms, we still see a boom. But I think, it will be more challenging.
Lorena, thanks very much for your analysis there. We've been speaking with Lorena Rivera Leon. She's the co-editor of the Global Innovation Index.